Because what you're allowed to do here is you can fill your tank up with water, you can put 1 drop of 1 herbal extract, you can put 1 drop of aloe in there and go, it's an aloe solution, so you can list aloe as your first ingredient. You can't do that anywhere else. There was one company in particular who was sold in the last number of years. They used to list all their herbal extracts first. This big company bought them. They changed their labels to be legally compliant around the world, so they moved all the herbal extracts down, and everybody thought they changed the formulations. And they never did. They just made them legal. So this is how a shampoo is made. You fill your tank up with water, then you start adding ingredients. So I put 1 ingredient in, I have to mix it through. I put the next ingredient, I have to mix it thoroughly through. Does this make sense? When I put the last ingredient in, I have to let it mix for 4 to 6 hours. Because I have to make sure that the whole batch is homogeneous, it's uniform. So when we fill the bottles, guess what? They're all the same. Does that make sense? Well, sulfates. Sulfates are something called a surfactant. Soap. It's your bubbles. It's your soap. If I take the soap out of a shampoo, guess what I need to put back into it? Another soap. So they take the sulfates out, and they put in, whether it be sarcosinates, succinates, sulfonates, fluoranates. I can sit here and list you literally hundreds of replacement ingredients. The thing about sulfates are, in nature, just naturally, they're alkaline. So when you make a shampoo, all shampoos are alkaline to begin with. So I mix that shampoo for 4 to 6 hours. I know it's going to be alkaline. I test it. I find out what the pH is. Then I know how much citric acid to add to the batch to bring the pH down. Because what I do is I mix it, check the pH, add citric acid, and then guess what I do? Let it mix, because it has to mix all that citric acid throughout the batch, so it adjusts the whole batch. So they told you that sulfates were bad because they're alkaline. Alkaline ingredients will remove color, because I told you about the pH. What they don't tell you about is the sarcosinates, the succinates, the sulfonates, the replacement ingredients are actually more alkaline. So they took 1 alkaline ingredient out and put something in that's more alkaline. The average pH, there's one shampoo in our industry that's sulfate-free. It's professional. It's only found in really high-end salons generally. It says color safe on the front of the bottle. I'm sure probably some of you have it in your salon. It has a pH of 8.3. Look at how high you point. It's an alkaline curve. So what we do is when we first mix the shampoo up, at the end it's going to be alkaline. We put citric acid into adjust it. We need to mix it again to bring the pH down. So when these companies bought up all the professional brands, the first thing they did was they took the keratin protein out because the keratin protein was expensive. The second thing they said is, why does it cost us so much to make these products? And they go, because we're adjusting the pH. We're going to mix it twice. So guess what they said to do?
They're mixing it